Suddenly we are all here again, having fun, it's been Riley and Ben. Who can know what they'll see or what they'll do? All together they'll find what's around the bend, playing and laughing, so much to explore. Time to see what the world has in store, finding answers to things that they don't know. As a team they'll define what a kid can do. Back again with our favourite friends, having fun, it's been Riley and Ben. Life's a journey, so come and join us all. Welcome back, let's go see what today will bring.
Goodbye, Mrs. Hooper.
Can you try that bit next?
And they all lived
Keep going.
happily ever after.
That was great. We were just reading together, weren't we, Ben?
Yes, it was all about a boy called Jack and a huge beanstalk and a big, scary giant.
That's right. Did you find the giant scary?
Yeah, but it was all okay in the end.
It was. I love when stories end happily, and Mrs. Hooper will be so impressed that you finished your homework.
Charlie, what's homework?
Homework is all the things that you didn't quite have enough time to finish in school, and sometimes Mrs. Hooper gives you homework so you can get a head start on all the things that you'll be learning next time.
Is that because we've been learning how to say lots of different words?
Yes, and there are so many words that there just isn't enough time for Mrs. Hooper to tell you all of them, so you have to learn as you go along.
Does Mrs. Hooper know all the words?
I don't think so. You'd have to ask her.
I love Mrs. Hooper. Can I draw her a picture?
That sounds like a lovely thing to do. Come on, let me find you some pencils. There we are. We've got a red pencil, a blue pencil, a green pencil, and a yellow pencil.
I'm going to draw the best picture ever.
You're so funny. Wait, I've got another one. What's a crocodile's favourite game?
I don't know. What is a crocodile's favourite game?
Snap.
Bye, Charlie. See you later.
Ben!
Hi, everybody.
Ben, we're telling jokes.
I love jokes.
Yeah. And when we get to school, we're going to tell all our jokes to Mrs. Hooper.
That sounds great. I've drawn her a picture.
That sounds really cool, Ben. I can't wait for school.
Well, come on then, everyone. Finn, Mum says that if we don't leave now, we'll be late.
Well, that wouldn't happen if Ben wasn't such a slow coach.
Hey, that's not very nice, Riley.
Well, race me then.
Last one there's a smelly sock.
Oh, you're too fast for me, Riley.
And me.
And me. Oh, good morning, everyone. Oh, all of you look exhausted.
Miss Henson, it's because we've got lots of things to show Mrs. Hooper.
Riley and me have been practicing our jokes.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
And I've drawn her a special picture.
I'm sure it's wonderful, Ben, but really...
Wait a second, though. Where is Mrs. Hooper?
Oh, yes. You're right, Riley.
Do you know where Mrs. Hooper is, Mrs. Henson?
Well, do you all remember how Mrs. Hooper hasn't been in school the time recently?
Yeah, you said she was feeling poorly.
Is she feeling poorly again, Mrs. Henson?
Well, she isn't, but what I mean to say is the reason Mrs. Hooper isn't in school today is because she isn't alive anymore.
Oh. Right.
Okay.
Well, I guess you guys can tell her your jokes and I can give her my picture when she's back.
That's a good idea, Ben.
Yeah, and we can come up with even more fun things to tell her.
Well, actually, I'm not sure that's how it works. I think what Miss Henson is trying to say is that Miss Hooper died.
But,
Does that make any sense?
but, why did she die, Miss Henson?
Well, like you know, Mrs. Hooper's been feeling quite poorly. And one day, she went to the hospital, where there were lots of doctors and nurses to take very good care of her. And even though they looked after her so well, one day, she had to go.
Where did she go? Is she at her house?
Maybe we can call her on the phone?
Not quite, Ben. When a person dies, his or her body stops working. They don't eat or breathe, and they can't pick up the phone to talk.
So, what do they do all day, Miss Henson?
Well, Finn, we don't really know, but there isn't really a daytime or a nighttime or a break time or something like that when someone's dead. They don't need to do the things that we do anymore. They're in their own special place.
But why doesn't she come back?
Well, Ben, because she's dead. She can't come back.
But who's going to teach our class and tell us stories and help us learn new things?
Don't worry. I'll be here to teach your class and do all the things that Mrs. Hooper used to do with you.
But where is she, Mrs. Henson?
I think some people believe that when a person dies, they go somewhere really lovely. Maybe we can even talk to them, even if they can't talk back.
So is Mrs. Hooper listening to us right now?
She might be, but she could be doing other nice things. We can't really find out, I'm afraid.
So, if we say our jokes out loud, she might be able to hear them?
Yeah, she might, Finn. But you and Riley and Ben can say other things to Mrs. Hooper, and even though she can't say anything back, I'm sure she's still happy to listen to you all.
Mrs. Hooper was always the best at listening.
Yeah, she always loved to hear about all the games I came up with at break time.
And she was very good at making me feel better when things had gone a bit wrong. I'm sad she won't be here anymore.
It's very sad, and I'm sure we'll all miss her very much. But it's okay to be sad. It can just take some time for things to feel happy again.
Okay.
Do you have any questions? You know you can always ask me anything. I'm sure the grown-ups that you trust will be happy to help too.
I have a question, Mrs. Henson.
Okay, Riley, what is it?
Well, if Mrs. Hooper might be able to hear us, could we talk to her about our memories of her?
Yeah, she always made me smile. Maybe we can all make her something to remember her by. A bit like Ben's picture.
That sounds like a really lovely idea.
You okay, Ben?
Well, I don't really know how to feel.
Ben, I get it. Death can be a really difficult thing to talk about, even for grown-ups. But what did Miss Hooper do when you were feeling sad or upset?
She would try to cheer me up, and she said that it was okay to be sad, but she didn't want me to be sad for too long.
So, we can be sad, but we should also try to be happy?
We can always be happy that we knew Mrs. Hooper. Think of all the different things she taught you.
Yeah, I suppose you are right.
Can we have a memories day, Mrs. Henson?
Yeah, so we can talk about all the special times we had with Miss Hooper.
I think that's a great idea. Why don't you all get to work on drawing a picture for Mrs. Hooper? Ben, maybe you can show yours to Finn and Riley. It might give them some good ideas.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, everyone, welcome to Memories Day. How are everyone's drawings coming along?
We're finished, Mrs. Henson. I worked very hard on mine.
Me too.
Amy, and I've been thinking about all the nice things she used to do with us.
That sounds perfect. Kit and Charlie, thank you both for helping. The street looks lovely.
No problem at all, Mrs. Henson.
It's the least we could do.
Now, everyone, are we ready to share our memories? Why don't you go first, Finn? What's your favourite memory of Mrs. Hooper?
Well, I always liked talking to Miss Hooper about all the games I've been playing. She'd always listen very closely when I talked about playing football and superheroes and tag and hide and seek.
That's lovely, Finn.
And she always used to say, it's very important to make sure everyone feels included in games. So I asked Ben and Riley and all our other friends to join in, and she said she was proud of me.
I'm sure she's still very proud of you. Well done, Finn. Riley, would you like to go next?
My favorite memory of Mrs. Hooper is when she helped me feel better. After losing my cuddly bunny, she told me be brave and never give up. Then she helped me look for it all over the school. When we found him again, she gave me and Bunny a big hug, and I felt very happy.
That's a lovely memory, Riley. Your turn, Ben.
I always loved Mrs. Hooper because she would read us stories and teach us lots of new words. My favourite ones have a happy ending. Even though some of them can be a bit scary, she said that things always turn out in the end okay.
Oh, Ben.
And you know what? Mrs. Hooper was right. Things always do turn out okay. That doesn't mean that things won't get tricky or make you upset. But things always change and get better.
That's good.
So even though Mrs. Hooper will miss Mrs. Hooper very much, it's okay, we'll feel better in a little while.
Exactly, Ben. And even though today was very, very sad, we've had a great time sharing our memories. I'm sure Mrs. Hooper still loves you all very, very much.
Definitely.
And we can always talk about Mrs. Hooper. Just because Memories Day is nearly over doesn't mean we have to forget any of them.
Even though I'm sad that Mrs. Hooper won't be here anymore, I'm happy to be here with all of you.
Me too.
And me.
Come on then, everyone. Shall we go inside and read a story together?
Yes, please. Does it have a happy ending?
Of course it does, Ben.
We asked you to send in pictures of your favourite memories with people you care about. This one's from Zach, age 5. Zach's drawn a picture of his sister playing with his pet cat Luna. Great job, Zach. Next up, this is from Chloe, age 4. Chloe's drawn a picture of her mummy and daddy and all her family at a birthday party. Looks like great fun, Chloe. Well done. This is from Thomas, who's 6 years old. He's drawn a picture of himself and his best friend Harvey. Looks like they're playing superheroes together. That looks amazing, Thomas. This next picture is from Liz, age 7. Liz has drawn a picture of her whole class on a school trip to London. What a lovely memory. I am sure you learned lots and lots. Cameron is 5 years old and he's drawn a picture of himself jumping on a trampoline. Boing! That's amazing, Cameron. Eleanor, who's 4 years old, has sent a picture of her favourite teddies, Bob and Ollie. Looks like they're having an amazing tea party. Yum yum! Our next picture is from Sam, age 6. Sam's drawn a picture of his baby sister Lizanne. Sam's mummy says he's having so much fun with his new sister and he can't wait to play with her. I'm sure you're going to make lots and lots of memories, Sam. This picture is sisters Iselin and Mariam, who are 4 years old. They've drawn pictures of themselves on the day they moved house. That's lots of boxes. A big well done. That's all from me. Goodbye, everyone.